Carter with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services of Princeton, and I'm here with Christopher with Chimney and Fireplace.
It's true.
Thanks for coming on. And
Good morning.
Good morning. I wanted to ask you some questions. What is it that you do, and what are some of the services that you offer?
Absolutely. So we are basically a top to bottom fireplace and chimney company. What we do is everything from masonry build to supplying things that can be used for people to heat their homes, and full servicing, which is cleaning and everything that comes in between.
Great. So I imagine once someone goes under contract and they're looking for someone to inspect, do you do that as well?
We do an array of inspections, actually. There are 3 levels. We do all 3. 1 being a basic, 2, 3 being for real estate and or invasive stuff to find out structural integrity.
Okay. So something like a chimney cap missing, things.
That's in our wheelhouse. Absolutely.
Wonderful. So tell me some typical things that buyers who are looking to purchase a home and there's a chimney involved, what are some things they should look for, or some warning signs, or when they should call you?
Okay, so a lot of times, particularly when we're fortunate enough to be in part of a real estate transaction, what we suggest is having a full inspection level 2, which involves a camera, because you want to find out what the integrity inside the structure is, aside from the exterior, which is obvious. Things to look for on the exterior: missing mortar joints, if it's made out of stone or brick, that material deteriorating, stucco going, cracks and things like that. Using us basically for you would give you insight into, okay, what is available that needs work, and for the clients also to set themselves in a position for either repair or change.
Now, I imagine chimney repair or remediation can be pretty pricey at times.
Depending upon what it is.
Right.
Right. Some materials are less expensive, stucco, but it all costs money, right, in some degree, depending upon how far the structure has gone, either south or still has integrity.
Great. Now, let me ask you, just for some interesting conversation here, what has been some of the most exciting or strange events in your career?
Strange is when you open a damper and you see a live raccoon.
Oh wow,
that's strange. So I've worked with John for the last 7 years, and we've had a couple of really major projects. We worked on a large home over in Bucks County, expensive, that had masonry structures that came out of the roof line, and there was issues, water, multiple things going on, and the new owners wanted to have them address what it ended up that we had to tear them down to the roof line and rebuild them. And in the process, you kind of find out, like who came before you. Did they care about the work, or they didn't?
Right.
Unfortunately, in that particular situation, there were corners cut hard after walls were up because it was a way of lowering the cost.
Right.
So we had to totally structurally remedy the situation and rebuild, which was an awesome job, but a big learning curve.
So you also work alongside of roofers, or you have somebody for that part of the process?
We do. I mean, we're capable of doing much of the things that tie a structure into the roof, Robin. Okay. So we would do all the flashing work, we would do all of that. But in regards to if it was a really major situation where the roof itself was in disrepair, alongside of the work needed, we would gladly, work shoulder to shoulder with a roofing team in order to make it all work for the owner.
Right. Now, has there been a time where you had to pull the wall out hard?
Oh, yes.
The flooring and.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So the thing is it's the devil that you don't see in almost everything when it comes to a structural situation. For us, because we do everything by the book and code, if there's something literally contained in the structure that ought not to be there, we'll do what we can when it's applicable to remove it. There are certain things that are beyond wanting to remedy with deconstructing, because you can only go so far and into the owner's wallet as well to justify certain things.
Right.
But yes, there are times when wood is intruding onto the structure that needs to be removed. We can do that. We can move things away by putting new headers in and things like that.
Now I imagine you also can close chimneys as well?
We can.
Okay.
We can.
Because I know some people, they want to convert to gas, and do you help them convert to gas, or
Absolutely.
take care of that process, or you outsource that?
No, everything we can do in-house. We actually are a distributor of multiple lines. So we do everything from wood inserts and freestanding wood stoves, gas inserts, freestanding gas stoves, gas log sets. So we can accommodate many things, and along the lines with that, Robin, there's also the ability to adjust perhaps some of the work that's needed in a structure due to the appliance that's about to be put in.
Okay.
Right? Like if you're putting in a gas insert for, say, for a new piece, but there was issues within the liner, well, you don't necessarily have to fix the liner then, because a gas insert comes with its own system that circumvents what's already there. So that can save some money in the long run.
Now, what are the telltale signs of, let's just say, because you know, me as a realtor, I go in the home with the buyer, and then we're like, oh, chimney's nice, and we look under like, oh, looks like a chimney.
Yeah, goes up.
Wow, it looks good.
Right.
You know, of course I can't say that, but nice chimney, nice fireplace.
Right.
What are some telltale signs where you're like, oh, there's a concern here that we can visually see?
Yes. So one of the things so let's go from the outside of the house to the inside of the house, if that's feasible, right? So on the outside, again, you know, we bumped into this before conversationally. You know, if it's a brick structure, a stone structure, you're looking for deterioration in the actual material itself. Everything has a mortar bond when it's made out of masonry. Well, it's very easy to see if something's going awry. You got pieces missing. Another thing is called efflorescence. It is a chalky white substance that looks like baking soda almost, but that's actually calcite. And that usually does appear when water's pushing through the masonry work. So if you get to the inside of the house and you're looking inside of the firebox, a firebox is should be made out of two materials, yellow or red fire brick, right? If you see that chalky substance anywhere in the firebox, there's a metal lintel that's what bridges the opening. If that shows rust, these are all signs of water intrusion. If it has a damper, like a damper handle, that looks rusty. Again, probably the sign of water making it inside the system.
So rust, efflorescence.
Yes.
And I see that in basement walls a lot.
You can.
On top of paint.
Yes,
Wow.
because if they're not mediating the water around a foundation, it will slowly. I mean, cinder block is porous, you know, and time waits for no substance. So water repeatedly goes up against anything that's masonry, it will inevitably find its way in.
So Christopher, to the audience, if we see efflorescence or rust on any metal part that is related to the chimney,
yes,
then we need to call you.
That's a good idea.
Okay, for further inspection.
True, that will help everything.
Do you work with any other home inspection companies that?
There are some guys and gals that we work with. There's someone in this particular area. His name is John Zur. John is a building inspector, but his background was actually as a general contractor. So John's very savvy, and he's someone that if we're asked to provide a name, he's typically the man we go with because he's just really professional.
John, he just gave you a shout out.
You're welcome, John.
You owe him lunch.
I eat big.
So, Christopher, I am so happy to have you here to talk about these things because really the chimneys aren't the biggest thing that we see up front. I mean, I'll go in, I'll say, take a look at the roof, you might want to get an inspector, a roof inspector for that. Or, let's look at the foundation and the structural part, maybe a structural engineer. But normally a chimney inspector, that goes along with it, but that's sort of like, if it looks beautiful, people take for granted, or actually they don't really inspect further
Right.
because it looks beautiful. So beautiful mantle, beautiful tiling around it, and beautiful wood that sits there staged
Right.
could just be, you know, just for show. And we really need to get these chimneys inspected because obviously some of these things can be expensive. And if you're negotiating a deal, you want to make sure that you're covered and your buyer is not, you know,
Winning one over.
yeah, getting taken advantage of. And not that the sellers would know, but let's talk about yearly care.
Okay, so yearly care. So there's a code book. It's called the NFPA 211, and it suggests that anything that has the products of combustion, whether it be wood fire, gas, oil, right? Mm-hmm. All of these things need to have yearly maintenance. With gas appliances, the yearly maintenance keeps everything running cleanly, but also generally affects the aesthetic because there's certain things that are in these pieces of equipment that are actually meant to go south with use, right, and meant to be refreshed, wear and tear, right? With wood applications, whether it be an open wood burning fireplace, an insert, or a freestanding wood stove, you know, you want to keep them breathing correctly so they do their job. You know, particularly the appliances, they really are a secondary source of heat in the home. So the cleaner they are, the better they provide for the usage. So, you know, that's something that, again, is part of our docket of what we do. As a general number, typically it's $230 for gas maintenance. Mm-hmm. And the first time we go to people's homes for wood appliances or fireplaces, it'd be like $295, but that gets a full camera inspection plus the cleaning. And then thereafter, if the client uses us again, the price goes down.
Do you offer any type of warranty that says, you know, if you contract us yearly, we warrant that such and such, you know, or we will make sure that, you know, if you put that on the market and there was an inspection and something came up, we will take care of it? Anything like that, or is that?
We do guarantee our work. I think that would probably answer the question most expediently. Mm-hmm. When it comes to warranties of things, I would say when it's a bigger project, when we do masonry work, we guarantee our work, mm-hmm. you know, for a decade. You know, we always feel like the way that we put things together, it's going to go against the elements better than a lot of other people's work because we are trained masons. As far as appliances and things are concerned, we do have contracts so that we have like a 3-year maintenance contract. Okay. So that's basically our way of saying like, hey, we want to come back, make sure this is working for you, you know, for the next few years, and hopefully you're satisfied with that, and then you'll re-up again because we're going to make sure that that's the way it's supposed to be operating.
Now, is there such thing, you know, I'm thinking of like a pool, right? You open and close it for a season. Is there a such thing for chimneys?
There is. I mean,
Fireplaces, I'm sorry.
It's okay. They're synonymous. At the end of the day, if someone really uses their appliance, we suggest like, hey, beginning of the season, get that thing cleaned, ready to rock. And if you use it really hard, we didn't have much of a winter this year. Right. People didn't use wood stoves and such as much as they would have in the past. But if you have a hard winter, a lot of people defer to them because they save some money on oil bills, have it serviced again before the season's out. That way, you know, going into next season, hey, we got it serviced. I can burn it for a couple months and then have them come out before the height of the season, before like Christmas time and things like that. And then it just keeps a perpetuation of a well-oiled machine.
Now let me ask you, just kind of coming off of, you know, your responsibility to, you know, fix the chimneys, what have you seen a situation, or is there a situation where the homeowner should call the insurance company?
That's a great question. Yes. So more times than not, when something happens in wood burning appliances, mm-hmm. There's usually something that happens that the clients hear. When there's a chimney fire, it roars. I mean, it literally roars, and people.
Wait, there's supposed to be a fire in the chimney. What do you mean?
Well, there you go. So when something goes awry, what will happen is that if something that burns wood's been used for years and not serviced, creosote can build up within the flue system. Creosote is actually wood alcohol, but when it burns, it turns into this tar-like substance that like again, if you don't service, it'll build up inside.
gunk.
It's literally like petroleum.
Mm.
And so if it has not been maintained and it ignites, it goes like a rocket.
Really?
Really.
Wow.
Wow. And so if that occurs and they're fortunate enough, sometimes it snuffs itself out because there's enough material that it will literally collapse on itself and smother.
Mm-hmm.
But on other times, if a fire, brigade has to be called out for it, something goes down inside the flue. It's called a thermal event. We come, we verify, and if that is the case, you have an insurance claim.
Okay.
Insurance company has to back you up on getting that right.
Okay. What's the most expensive project you've done?
Ooh, what's the most expensive project? Well, we actually are doing an insurance project right now where we had to put in 3 stainless steel liners after deconstructing the interior of the masonry structure itself. So that was a serious
Can you
project.
give me a range, like an idea?
That was like almost $50,000.
Wow.
That's for repair. Now we have done full builds, and so depending upon the material that the client wants,
Right.
if you want a very detailed, expensive stone like granite, let's say for the front,
Right.
plus building the actual cinder block and then brick structure, that's 55, 60, 65, depending how big it is.
Right.
75 if you really want to spend some money.
Material selection.
Yeah, material selection.
Okay, I want a pizza oven and fireplace in my backyard. Do you do that?
Yep.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All of the above. We will even put in a freestanding grill for you if you like.
Oh, I know you
Gas
didn't say
powered.
that.
We don't want it to be anything but the best.
So, all right, I'm gonna push you and see how far you guys go. So I want a backyard, outdoor space, living space. I always wanted like an island with a grill and a fire pit and fireplace. And so, do I just call you? Or
Yes,
I don't have to. Do I call a mason company or just?
we are masons.
So I just call you.
Yes.
So backyard living, outdoor living.
No,
Space.
no problem at all. All very well within what we do. We do.
You have to call Tour Chimney and Fireplace. And Christopher Chabot?
Chabot.
Chabot.
It's spelled Chabot.
Oh, it's okay.
Chabot.
All right, I'm sorry. Christopher Chabot, I thank you so much. Lead technician here. I will put the information on the bottom of this this video.
Awesome.
And share this and have this for you to share with your audience as well, if you'd
Thank
like.
you, Robin.
And I appreciate you coming in and answering questions. And do you have anything else you'd like to share? Or
No, I mean, obviously, we're very thankful that you wanted to get the inside kind of view for how we go about our business. So, that's great. It's only going to help. I honestly think it will help you do your job, but it will also help a lot of clients save some money. One of the failings of home inspections, and it's not me running anybody down, but it becomes ancillary when you're looking at the big picture and it's like, it's a fireplace. What could go wrong? Right? But a lot of people buy their homes because of the center of a fireplace that's like the epicenter of the home, where you're going to hang out, where you're going to read, where you're going to have conversation. And so if you don't do a little bit of due diligence on that, you can find out that that's a big expense to be right to use. And I think that that's something that, we've seen it multiple times doing our job. This needs to be fixed. We're like, it needs to be fixed.
so I have a title for this video already.
Okay.
If you're buying a home or selling a home
Or selling a home.
with a chimney / fireplace,
Mm-hmm.
you should call Tour Chimney
You should call Torch in.
and Fireplace.
And Fireplace.
Yes.
Ta-da.
And you should call me to sell the home.
You should call Robin to sell
Or
your
me
home.
to help you buy the home.
Or have Robin help you buy a home.
Right, and because I'm more knowledgeable today than I
Hurry
was
up.
yesterday.
What are you waiting for? Thank you so much.
What a pleasure. Thank
Likewise,
you.
I'm sure.
All right, guys. Once again, I'm with Christopher, Tour Chimney and Fireplace. And, what areas do you service?
We service Bucks County and Princeton and surrounding areas. We're within an hour anywhere Princeton, Bucks County, parts
Okay,
of-
Mercer, Middlesex.
Absolutely.
Burlington.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Thank you.